Hello. So, net neutrality looks like it has been repealed. And that's okay. Two reasons why we don't need to panic. Well, technically three, but whatever. That's just kind of a subtopic, but allow me to explain. Reason number one. Net neutrality only became a thing in 2015. 2 years ago. Almost 3. Before that, net neutrality was non-existent. 2014, before that, as far back as the late 90s, mid-90s, the infancy of the internet. Oh, good word. There wasn't a thing. And yet, were we needing to pay individual bundles for the internet? No. Or if you were, well then, get a different internet provider. That's messed up. The internet was not that much different. Maybe a little. I don't know. I wasn't as committed to the internet back then as I am now, but I didn't notice a difference. There wasn't, like, people losing their minds all the time over this like everyone's making it out to be. So, what's the problem? What's the problem in that regard? Was the internet any different? Not really. Maybe a little. I don't know. But whatever. The second and the most important part, in my opinion, here is this whole everyone's worrying about, oh, we're going to need to pay extra for the internet. We're going to need to pay for individual bundles of the internet. Someone even said that we were going to have to pay every single time that we search something on Google. Well, that would be awfully stupid, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. Because that would absolutely kill off ISP companies if they decide to do that. Comcast, Verizon, you name it, if they decide to do that, and one of their competitors doesn't, people are going to go to the competitor, and these big companies are going to die off. They're going to go out of business. They're going to go bankrupt because people aren't going to tolerate that. That would literally be stupid on their part. Like, incredibly stupid. Shockingly so. They would go out of business. The stock market would crash. For them, I should say. Their stock would just go... just crash and burn. And the smaller companies, the ones that say, no, we're sticking to the old way of paying for things, which is how it should be, just one big bundle for the whole entire internet. If they're going to stick to that, that's where everyone's going to go. And the big ones, done. Done for. No more. They will go bankrupt. They're done. Google, if they decide to implement this paying to search. Google is one of the biggest names in the stock market, in the technological stock market, I should say, on that end of things. I don't know. I'm not that well versed in that, but I do have some family who is really well versed in that. They watch that stuff committedly. The Google stock would just implode. It would just die. And I think if all these tech companies started doing this, we'd have a little mini recession in the stock market. You tell me that ISPs still think that that's a good idea. I would highly doubt it. Because if they do, they would dig their own grave just like that. I can't snap, so yeah, that's why I did that. So, that's off the table. That is completely off the table. The only other thing, everyone is still saying that, people are not going to be able to get on social media anymore. Big YouTubers like Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, all of them, they're going to die. They won't be able to do YouTube anymore. YouTube is going to die as a platform. Well, it already is going to, no matter what the case is. Because of this whole demonetization thing. But that's beside the point. That is completely unrelated. YouTube is not going to die for this. Google is not going to die for this. The internet as a whole is not going to die. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing. I think the worst that we are going to see for the next 5 years or so, until maybe something else happens, if this gets repealed, is that ISPs are going to have more control over the advertisements that we see. I think that is the worst that we are going to get. So instead of seeing ads for, I don't know, car companies, you'll see ads for toy companies, I don't know. That's the worst that's going to happen. And if you have ad block, you'll probably be okay, but I don't have it. I even don't have ad block, and it's not going to affect me that badly. So, to everyone who is panicking in an all-out rage at Ajit Pai right now, and the FCC, calm it down. I will say this. I was all for keeping net neutrality. I wanted it to stay. I wanted the FCC to at least listen to us. Because of just how the sheer number of people. But, well, they didn't, so I'm a little annoyed at that. I will say that. I'm a little annoyed that they were just like, nah, whatever. That's the only thing that gets me a little annoyed. But net neutrality getting repealed is not going to remotely, it's not even in the same universe of affecting us as much as people are making it out to be. No one is going to die YouTube-wise. Jacksepticeye's not going to die. Markiplier's not going to die. Rice Gum, I don't know. Whatever other big YouTubers that you can name. That's not going to happen. I guarantee you. Probably most of the people listening to this video are probably just listening to me going blah 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 blah. And they're going to go down into the comments and they're going to say, the FCC sucks, Ajit Pai needs to die. The FCC needs to be blown up, whatever, which is borderline terrorist, I think. But to those who are listening to me and listening to the words that I'm actually saying, thank you. First of all, just please know that probably in a week, if not less, we'll have forgotten about this. We'll all have completely forgotten about this. We would have moved on. Because nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing noticeable has changed. And if your internet provider decides to take full advantage of this, well then that's on them. That is a terrible business decision on their part, and they are going to absolutely get economically destroyed for it. They are not going to gain anything. They are going to lose everything. And if they keep it up, they'll go bankrupt easily. Because everyone will switch over to someone else who's not doing it. That's business-wise. And that's the big thing as to why this has been over-exaggerated by a factor of billions. That's all I can say. I'm going to end this by simply saying, all is good. The internet is staying mostly 99% the same. And that 1%, I think, is just going to be different types of advertisements that we'll have to put up with. That's it. Beyond that, nothing is changing. However, for the sake of this whole thing, I'm going to probably put off streaming tonight and maybe even tomorrow as well. I know it's been a while since I've done a race. But I just feel like the chat at this point would just be on all-out crap. And no one would pay attention to the race at all. So I'm going to probably just hold off on that just to let this fallout cool down. Because it will. Because this is not going to affect us at all. That's all I have to say. And thank you for listening. And I hope that you got something from this. And if you didn't, go ahead and rant about me, go ahead and cuss me out, do whatever you want. But I hope you listened. That's all I can say. 10 minutes now, this video, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for just watching this whole thing, if you did. Or if you already just watched the first 30 seconds and went ahead and scrolled down to cuss me out. Good on you. I'm done here. Y'all have a good one. Take care. And bye for now.